Welcome back to SnowRunner. You join us today as we are still in Michigan, Smithfield Dam in fact, and we are in the Quarry. Now the last episode we delivered service spare parts and a concrete slab to here, and that unlocked the ability to pick up cargo containers. Straight away we had a mission to do, fuel order. We need to take 2 cargo containers to the warehouse. Sounds simple enough, and actually I think it should be a simple journey, but I'm not sure how we're getting out of the Quarry. We'll talk about that in a second, but let's plot our route out. So obviously we're going to get back to that point there. That's one of my concerns, because that's quite a steep hill to try and get up. But the actual journey itself to the warehouse seems fairly simple. We've done this journey a few times. Not always with a load though, from what I can remember. I know we did some exploring and used this road and went that way. I think we brought stuff from the warehouse down. I'm not sure we took anything there though. Taken? I know, words. Anyway, so we're going to take these 2 cargo containers and deliver them. Now, we are using the Fleetstar as it is the vehicle we used in the last episode, so it's already here. This is the Fleetstar F2070A, for those that aren't aware. In the last episode, we also put on brand new tyres. We changed our tyres to the 42-inch off-road UOD Freeze. Kind of helped us with the mud a lot more. We kind of assessed what works best and the different ratings, and I thought because the mud in the Quarry, changing tyre would be ideal. I can't remember what we had before. I think we had all-terrain, I think was previous. Man, that is not working very well. You can see it on the back. It's tipping a lot. Now, we've had some issues previously in the past with the Fleetstar. Fleetstar itself is the best vehicle we have. In fact, because we sold the GMC previously, we currently only have 2 vehicles. We are going to buy the GMC back, but that's another story. But anyway, currently we only have the Chevrolet Kodiaq and the Fleetstar as our 2 working transport vehicles. Now, the Chevrolet Kodiaq doesn't have all-wheel drive, so I'm not really using it very often because it just can't cope with the mud that often. So everything kind of falls on the Fleetstar currently, and we are properly stuck here. I don't know if are we caught on something, or are we just struggling for power? The other issue I think is fuel. So the Fleetstar does drink fuel quite a lot, but that's not our biggest concern. Our biggest concern is the pulling power of the Fleetstar. Let's just try and get this sorted first. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Talk about what the vehicle's what I want about the vehicle, but at the same time, struggling to get this up the hill. Have we done it? Is it there? I kind of need to see ahead, but also see back to actually see what the trailer's doing, because it keeps catching by the looks of things. I'm not sure if it's grounding out on the floor. We're caught on something, surely. Must be. Can't really tell what. It's dark, which doesn't help. We've had, as I was saying, we've had the issue in the past of the Fleetstar. So the Fleetstar itself has been brilliant for us. It's a brilliant starting vehicle. It, proves itself time and time again. But we've had some issues, and they're not major issues, but the problem we've found is carrying things on a trailer that you pull. So if we have a high or low saddle, Fleetstar's fantastic. The minute you add a trailer that is just connected to the back hitch, the Fleetstar struggles. It's if it doesn't have enough power to pull that extra weight. Whereas if it was directly on the back of us, I think we'd pull it easily. But the trailer that these automatically spawned on, I thought, oh, we better use it. It's what it's given us. I'm now thinking that might have been a bad idea. And I've known this issue with the Fleetstar because we've seen it time and time again, hence why we've been using the high and low saddles more. I'm not a fan of these trailers that you pull behind, because the Fleetstar can't manage it. I don't know what it is, it just doesn't like it. It prefers something that's directly connected to it. That's the way I found it so far anyway. We are slowly getting up here. I actually thought getting out the Quarry would be quite simple. It's proven to be a lot harder and longer than I expected. I thought we'd be on the road by now, but that's not going to happen, is it? We will get out of here, it will just take time. Right, we're building a little bit of speed up now, it's not too bad. We kind of, I don't know what it was, maybe we took the corner too sharply, maybe we didn't allow enough space for turning, maybe. But the Fleetstar now seems to be pulling absolutely fine, which goes against what I was just saying about the trailer on the back. But it is an issue we've had with the Fleetstar previously, so that's a concern. The other concern, as you saw when we drew the route out, is the actual way out of the Quarry. Now, I think that's the easiest way out, but knowing the Fleetstar's issues with pulling a trailer like it is on the hitch, I'm not sure we can make it up the hill, but we'll see how we go. Fuel is now becoming more of an issue. We've got about a quarter of a tank left. Now, we had already done the previous job and delivered here in the last episode. I didn't see the point in them recovering or going off and refueling, coming all the way back. It just made sense to at least try and get out of the quarry first with the trailer. If worst comes to worst, we get the trailer to the main road, we disconnect, we refuel, come back and carry on. That's worst case scenario. But the way the fuel is dropping significantly, and I'm guessing it's the extra weight is the reason we're using so much fuel up, we may have to do it as soon as we get up top. If we make it. I'm not 100% sure we're going to make it up before running out. I just know how much this Fleetstar likes to drink. And we have got the upgraded engine in the Fleetstar as well. So the fuel economy, that's the word, should be better. But when you're pulling stuff, it doesn't seem to like it. Okay, the trailer, that's the other thing with these cargo containers. They are very, very top heavy, I think is the right way of describing it. They do like to tip a little bit, and as I say, the trailer's not my favourite trailer, but we've got to just keep moving forward, although we're stuck again. So I'm not sure if they're getting stuck on the rocks on the side. I think possibly. Or are we stuck on these rocks on the floor? Something's getting stuck. Let's try again. More to the left. Trying to just kind of gather where we're getting stuck. I don't know if it is the trailer or it's us. Until we know what's doing it, I can't really adjust for it. That's the problem. Let's keep going a bit more back. Try this again. We're going low range. Diff locks on as well, just so we can just keep moving. No, we're getting stuck again. What is it we're stuck on? There is something catching. I can't really. I know I should have waited. I don't really like waiting for the time of day to change. Like, I know you can go into the map and do it automatically. That's not something I enjoy doing. I'd rather do things as naturally as possible, which means some jobs are at night, hence now. There is a time actually on the map I noticed the other day. So you could do out early hours in the morning. I don't know what time it is at the minute on the map, but there we go. But yeah, middle of the night, we've done a few missions like that already. I don't let time play out. I'd rather just keep going and go from there. We don't have to do every job in the daytime. It's not realistic. So we try and do it all times. But in this case, I might be regretting that, because this quarry is not fun. I'm hoping we don't have any more jobs in the quarry. I'm hoping this is it. Job done. Leave it alone kind of thing. But we'll see. We have made a bit more progress, though. We are slowly doing it. It is just taking time. And you can see the actual pull needed by the Fleetstar to do this. It is struggling. Even with all-wheel drive. I don't think the Chevrolet Kodiaq would have managed this without all-wheel drive especially. I think we can add all-wheel drive to the Chevrolet Kodiaq, but we can't get it until we go to Russia, from what it says. So we've talked about it previously about what we're thinking of doing when we do finally go somewhere else. Once we've cleared everything in Michigan, when we go to, I think it's Alaska next, my plan is to take one scout vehicle and one truck, but the minute we find the truck, we get rid of ours. We send it back, essentially. That's in my head, but I also am aware that that could be quite tricky, because there's no guarantee we're going to find a truck for quite a while. But we'll see how we go. I don't know. It's in my head. I don't know how I'm going to play it out just yet, but let me know what you think anyway. Okay, we are still making progress. We're getting there. Fuel is extremely low, but as I say, worst comes to worst, we get to the main road, we're on a hitch, refuel, come back, and then we crack on. I kind of knew this would be the hardest part. I kind of knew the quarry would take the time up. The actual journey itself to the warehouse is fairly simple and should be absolutely fine. Okay, so not this turning, we want to go the next one up, and then that'll be our way out. I suppose we could have taken that, but it's quite a turn, isn't it, to turn left there, so we'll keep going to our original plan, I think. I don't want to change my mind now. It's the worst thing you can do. We've got a plan, we're going to stick to the plan, and even if the plan goes wrong, we're still sticking to it. Don't like changing plan. Okay, so this is the hill I'm worried about, coming up on our left hand side. Now, we haven't got much drive. You can see we just haven't got the power. And that is a steep hill that's quite muddy. Now, the tyres will be absolutely fine. The Fleetstar on its own probably will fly up this, as we've done previously. It's the trailer I'm worried about. If we've got somewhere we can winch to, that would actually help a lot. I need to get a better camera angle, really. Yeah, there we go. We're already stuck. We're not stuck, we're just not going anywhere. We don't have the speed, that's the problem, or the pulling power, and we are very low on fuel. So, can we winch anywhere? See if we can pull us up a little bit more, because that's the only thing we can do. Pull the tree down instead, is keep winching and hoping we can get close to the top. I think if we can get the wheels onto the road, that might be enough, but I'm not 100% on that. It could be we might have to get to the top and winch up, maybe. I don't know. Don't know if we'd actually manage that, to be fair. Right, what else can we winch to try and pull us forward? We just need a bit more forward, that's all we need. I don't think the trailer's fully on the hill either. I think half of it is still off the hill. But the Fleetstar's not going anywhere on its own at this point. It's a long trailer. Like I say, if it had a low or high saddle connector, that would be perfect. It's just unfortunately not. We're moving ever so slightly. That winch has done well to actually pull us anywhere, to be fair. Come on, get the traction, get the traction. We're pulling. We are pulling, come on, a little bit more. That fuel is dropping like anything. Down to 20 now. I don't think we're moving, no. Okay, we got a bit close to the top. Annoyingly, them trees are a little bit too far away at the top, otherwise that would be ideal. How can we do this? What if use the trailer and the containers and try and pull past the tree. So that's something I've learned a little while back. If you're trying to pull something with a winch, if you connect it to the furthest part back, it actually propels you forward. As long as obviously the tree's ahead of the trailer, which is what it's done. We're up. Well, front wheels are anyway. Come on. There is a slight hump here though, and we're nearly out of fuel. I don't think we're going to get this trailer up. Just too far away from the trees ahead as well. If we could get one of those trees, perfect. But we're just that little bit away. Just need a little bit more. Come on. It's not going to do it. I just need a little bit more. Come on. It's just not doing it. How close was that to getting up? So close. Can we go to... Yeah, let's try and swing it around. Give ourselves a bit more room, maybe. We're going to run out of fuel. Which I wasn't worried about, because it's easy enough to quickly go and get fuel. But I wanted the trailer on the road at the very least, and we're not going to have it. Which means we're still going to put it up more afterwards. Because we're not going to make it before we're out of fuel now. There's no way. It's a little bit annoying, because I thought we'd be already on the go by now. I knew the hill would be an issue. I didn't think we'd struggle this much. But I think a lot of it is down to the trailer type. If it was a different trailer, different connection point, I think we'd be laughing at this point. But it is just the Fleetstar doesn't like towing a trailer on the hitch. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure what it is. What changes do you need to make to a vehicle to make it more compatible? If that's the right word, because there must be vehicles out there in the in-game that can pull trailers on a hitch perfectly fine. Because every vehicle has its strengths and weaknesses. That's my kind of thinking. We just haven't found the Kodiaks yet because we need all-wheel drive really to make it worthwhile using. We have used that a couple of times. We have got stuck a couple of times too because of it though. That's the issue. That's why the Fleetstar's our go-to. Okay, we're out of fuel. There's no way we're getting much further. I don't know. Come on. I'm going to try and think of something here. I'm about to run out of fuel. That's not my concern. I'm just thinking, where can we leave the trailer? I don't want it to go backwards when we go and get fuel. That's the problem. It was at this point we completely ran out of fuel. We recovered the Fleetstar and arrived back at where we left the trailer. And we'll continue from there on. Right, we're refueled. We're good. We now need to get this trailer up. You can see the time of day's changed a little bit. The journey to get... Well, we recovered ourselves, but the journey from there to here. I think early hours of the morning now, I would guess. But we still need to get this trailer up. Now, my thinking is we winch it. Rather than connect directly, we winch and drive forward. Obviously, we need to keep our wheels on a surface, the road as much as possible, although we can't, we're too far away from it. Yeah, all-wheel drive. Can we pull it? Oh, we are. We can. I didn't think... I was sceptical. I did not think this was going to work. Honestly thought we'd have issues here. I need to turn it a little bit. So this is just winching now with the handbrake on. It's pulling us back a little bit, but we're still there. I thought if we put the front wheels in that dip, kind of gives us that bit to stay. If the wheels catch on the road kind of thing was my thinking. Right. It worked better than I expected. Pleasantly surprised. I half expected to have to reverse down there to do it that way. Come on. Keep pulling. Come on, Fleetstar. Be the star that your name has in it. Come on. It's like it's getting stuck. It's getting close though. I don't think it's close enough to connect to just yet. There we go. Come on. A bit more. Because the front wheels are not touching anything. So we've got no traction from them. There we go. Come on. A little bit more. Come on. Yes. Wow. Okay. I honestly didn't think that was going to work. I thought I was going to have to go on back on the hill, connect by the hitch, struggle to get up the hill, spend another 10-15 minutes, and then regret everything I just did. But actually, that worked out. Okay. Now the easy part. That was the hard part of this whole mission, to be fair, that whole journey. Although I need to get out of this little rut I'm in at the minute. We just now need to drive this up the hill. It's quite an easy journey. But that worked out better than I was expecting. I'm actually really pleased. I did not think that was going to work the way it did. So the winch seemed to be quite powerful, powerful enough. And you can see the difference. Using the winch to pull it up, or driving without directly connecting it to us via the hitch, worked perfectly. It is just pulling something directly attached to the back of the Fleetstar, that's the issue. Even now, we haven't got much speed. And it's all because it's on the hitch on the back. If it was directly on the back, like I said before, with a low or high saddle, we wouldn't have this issue. But it is what it is. We've got it. We've got the trailer. We're moving. And a lot of this is road. There is quite a lot of rocks on the road. If you remember from last time, we've come this way. So we have to be a bit careful of those, I think. But all in all, this should be a pretty smooth journey. We've got plenty of fuel. I'm not worried about fuel now, after we managed to refuel. It's all about just getting there in one piece. The last thing I want to do now is turn this trailer over. If one of these falls off, or the trailer flips, or we do something silly and crash down the mountain, I will cry. No, I won't, but figuratively speaking, shall we say. I'm kind of happy it worked. I was in two minds about whether to even try it with the winch. And yeah, it did work in the end, which is perfect. Okay, just got to keep navigating these turns. The turns are probably the hardest part. There is a small bridge we've got to go across. That looks as sketchy as anything, but we've done it a couple of times and been fine. So I'm hoping again we'll be fine this time. But you can see the difference in slowing down, especially when the mud is there. Although it's dry, it's not really wet mud. You can still see it makes a difference. The new tyres we've got on the Fleetstar as well, they're not as good on-road as the previous. Hence why we changed. We wanted more off-road based tyres, which is what we got, off-road tyres. But I haven't noticed a significant difference in traction on roads. So we were speaking about this previously, and I've had a few conversations in the comments with like Stu the Gamer. And tyres that say they're just for the road or are more road-based tyres, the only big significant thing I can see with them is the fact they struggle in the mud. When you get tyres like the off-road ones we've now got on, the Euro D3s, the 42 inches, compared to the all-terrain. The all-terrain are really good off-road, but the off-road tyres are obviously better, they're better in the mud. Both can go down on road travel. Now, on the road though, you don't really have to worry too much about traction, because generally on a road it's quite a smooth journey. So you're not really worried about how much traction you're getting down. It's not like you're going to get stuck on the road, is it? Like the mud you're going to get stuck into. And the hills and stuff are a lot harder off-road to do. But the tyres allow for that, and that's fine. But when they say they're not so good on road, what are we actually losing? Because I'd say I've not noticed a difference. I think sometimes when I'm driving a little bit too quickly and get a little bit carried away, we tend to skid a little bit more around corners. but not significantly enough to make it look as bad as what it says they are. Now it's probably a small point something number that is difference in terms of traction and grip, but it's a road. Grip isn't that important because the road surface gives you that. So does that mean the road tyres, other than being really bad off-road, there's never a reason to put them on? Because this was something we were speaking about before. Do you change tyres down to concerning what job you're doing? So if we're doing a job that is all road-based, I don't know, putting a bridge back up and stuff like that, does that mean you change tyres and go on just road tyres for that? Because currently I can't see the reason to do that. I was thinking this and talking about this previously, and I thought, well, maybe you should change tyres if it's a road-based job because they're road tyres. But actually, all-terrain, off-roads, what you lose on the road, I can't really see the difference. It just, in my mind at the minute, the way I'm thinking is the road tyres, or your starting tyres, they're rubbish off-road. Once you upgrade, you never go back to them. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it, because there's just no real difference. I don't know if that's going to change in different maps, but currently it doesn't make any difference as far as I can see. Which was always the thing when we started in Black River. I was concerned about changing tyres quickly because I knew the road tyres were causing us issues off-road. And we did that, and once we did that, we started flying when it comes to missions. This is the bridge. This is the one I was worried about, only because it's quite a tight bridge. I think I don't want us to get too far to the right and tip the trailer, because that would be a disaster. Too far to the left, we're rolling down the hill. But I think we've actually made it right. That's alright. I'm a little bit concerned, but it's all good in the end. But actually, yeah, that actually went really well. I was a little bit concerned with that bridge, just because if we got it wrong, too fast, me being silly, or me being too drowsy, because one of the reasons I'm talking so much in these videos now is just to keep myself awake a lot of time. The lack of sleep and the drowsiness is getting really, really bad. When I'm playing this and other games and recording and editing and stuff, I'm struggling to stay awake. And I've done it before in previous videos, racing games. I've actually fell asleep whilst editing and voicing over a video, but woken myself up because I'm still talking. It's really weird, and I've listened to it back, and actually I do make sense. But then I have that concern now when they always say don't drive if you're really tired and stuff. In this, that does worry me a little bit. I was concerned that if I'd hit that bridge too quickly, we could have tipped. And yeah, we made it perfectly fine. So I need to stop the worrying and just focus on what we're doing. Because these things tend to work out in the end, somehow, some way. Right, we are getting close. Not too much climbing more to do to go up this hill. And then we can deliver these 2 cargo containers. Hope we never have to visit the quarry again and say job done. That's the plan. Okay. We'll probably end up selling the trailer as well. There's a trailer store opposite the warehouse. I don't see the point in keeping it. As I say, I'd rather have the trailers that you hitch directly onto the Fleetstar to use, because it just works better with it. On road though, you can see the difference. On the road, even that little bit of mud there was causing some issues, but on the road there's no issue putting anything, which makes me think the tyres road rating doesn't matter really. It's the off-road, the mud rating, that's the bit that matters when you're looking at tyres, as far as I can tell so far. That's kind of the way I think of it at the minute. I think road tyres, now we're past them, there's no point going backwards. But we're just about here. There's the trailer selling point on the left, and coming up near the marker here on the right hand side is the entrance to the warehouse. I'm kind of relieved. This went really well. Okay, we spent the first 10-15 minutes trying to get out the quarry, and that was horrible and tricky, but we did it in the end. Perseverance did pay off. And here we are. Okay, let's get these delivered. 2 cargo containers that hopefully no one else wants ever again, so we don't have to go back to the quarry. 1 and 2, and that is job done. We're promoted as well. Wow. Okay, we are now rank 9, and that is mission complete. I'm pretty happy with that. That went really well. And that is us for today. Thank you for joining us for this episode of SnowRunner. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe. A like on the episode does really help as well. And ring the bell to not miss an upload. I'm speechless. But it went well. I'm happy. I'm happy. That's the important part. So that is it. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time for more SnowRunner.